It's said that deep in an American forest, two children were raised by a ghost. Over the years, their bodies became hunched, and they crawled on all fours like wild creatures. They survived by eating fruit and insects, adapting to their eerie existence. When a group of bounty hunters finally tracked them down after an exhausting search, the sight before them was terrifying. The once bright-eyed little girls in old photographs had transformed into something neither human nor ghost. No one could imagine what horrors they had endured over the past 5 years. But to understand their story, we have to go back to 1873. That year, a mentally ill woman named Elise gave birth to a child. Due to her unstable condition, the local priest and her brother took the baby away from her, believing it was for the child's own good. But Elise was obsessed with reclaiming her baby. She couldn't understand why her own child should be taken from her. One day, when the asylum director wasn't paying attention, she attacked him from behind with a screwdriver. After killing the director and taking back her child, Elise fled the asylum. The priest and a group of men pursued her for miles, chasing her relentlessly until they finally cornered her at the edge of a cliff. Believing they had her trapped, they sighed in relief. But no one expected what happened next. Elise, clutching her baby tightly, threw herself off the cliff without hesitation. She was killed instantly, her body swept away by the river below. But the baby, by some cruel twist of fate, got caught in the twisted branches of a tree. When the search team finally found the child 6 months later, it was too late. The baby had starved to death, reduced to nothing but bones. From that moment on, Elise became a vengeful spirit, forever wandering the earth in search of the child she had lost. Then, in 2008, a father, devastated by the collapse of his business, got into a heated argument with his wife. In a fit of rage, he accidentally shot and killed her. Desperate to escape the authorities, he fled into the wilderness with his 2 young daughters, seeking refuge in an old cabin. But no matter how much time passed, he couldn't shake his grief. Once a powerful and successful man, he had lost everything. The humiliation was unbearable. One night, he made a terrible decision. He told his daughters there was a deer outside and pointed toward the woods. As they turned to look, he stood behind them, trembling, and slowly raised his gun, aiming at their heads. But before he could pull the trigger, massive hands grabbed him from behind. A wild-haired woman lifted him into the air and, with unnatural strength, snapped his neck. Hearing the commotion, the daughters quickly turned around, but the older one was severely nearsighted. She could barely make out anything in the darkness. She had no idea that their father had just been killed by something inhuman. The 2 girls sat by the fire, waiting and waiting, their stomachs growling with hunger. Then, from the shadows, they heard a noise. They looked down. A single cherry had rolled to their feet. As time passed, the cherries kept coming, piling up into a small mountain. No one knew how many they had eaten or where they were really coming from.